Greetings. Today we present an exceptional opportunity for you to consider. We cordially invite you to embark on a profound journey, a transition towards spiritual enlightenment that could reshape your understanding of the world. In this video, you will hear a passage titled Embracing Our Inborn Identity from the book The Journey Begins Within by SAVI. Together, these teachings emphasize the importance of embracing our true identity, pursuing our passions, surrendering to divine timing, discovering our inner gifts, balancing free will and predestination, breaking free from societal impositions, and trusting greater forces for a fulfilling and authentic life. In this video, you will learn 1. Destiny by birthright. Our true identity and destiny are defined by our inborn qualities and divine design, not societal expectations or ego-driven pursuits. 2. The role of passion. Pursuing one's true passion leads to fulfillment and co-creation, while forcing oneself into societal molds results in dissatisfaction and suffering. 3. Divine timing and surrender. Letting go of control and surrendering to divine timing allows for serendipitous and karmic experiences that guide us to our true path. 4. Inner gifts and integrity. Focusing on discovering and embracing our inner gifts aligns us with our true purpose, leading to meaningful contributions and inner peace. 5. Free will and predestination. While we have free will, specific predestined experiences shape our lives, providing necessary lessons for spiritual growth. 6. Breaking free from societal impositions. Rejecting imposed career paths and societal norms allows us to follow our true calling and live authentically. 7. Trust in greater forces. Trusting that greater forces guide our lives helps us embrace uncertainty and align with our divine purpose. I hope you enjoy it. See the video description for additional details.
Embracing our inborn identity. The journey towards fulfilling our destiny. Who are we meant to become in this lifetime? Are we indeed allowed to become who we would like to be, or who society expects us to be? Are our ego and its identifications the ultimate possible truth, or is it only one of the infinite ones? Are there some predestinated outcomes or experiences in our lives that we must endure, whether they are what we would have hoped for or not? What role does free will play in all of it, whether in luck or relationships? Well, you are in for a treat, because there is no one correct answer to them. I had my share of adventures in this incarnation, many resulting from my choices. Yet the most pivotal ones were serendipitous, karmic, or predestined experiences that came about while facing utter dismay at the hand of my ego's blinding dictatorship, trying to comply with that life which was imposed on me since childhood, where my two stern parents, for lack of discernment, obligated me to study and pursue a career that it was not my calling. I was molded into what they believed could give me the best footing in a middle-class society, but my passion, or vocation, was killed in the process. And I tell you, if you want to experience hell, go to university for decades and then end up in a soulless corporate job in America, pursuing the so-called American dream, which for many now has become the American nightmare. A human being's capacity for co-creating is proportionate to the passion instilled in its creation. You may try to force your way into fitting the mold, but yes, hard work and sweat will carry you through, and this has indeed worked for me for several decades. Even when I was laid off from my last corporate job, I somehow was forced into a professional intermediation role to attain my residence and be allowed to remain in the U.S. rightfully. I was doing it to survive and comply with what was expected of me. Buy a house, marry, and have a family. The game's name always was, I will feel fulfillment when this or that happens. Until then, I must lower my head and pull through. This is what society expects from me. There is nothing more soul-clenching for anyone to be on a life path that is not what you were meant to be by divine design. Those of us who are faced with this predicament and are not strong enough commit suicide. I know first-hand accounts of close friends who took their lives in similar situations. I even contemplated this several times, as my life's journey was never an easy one, and mostly filled with loneliness and betrayal from everyone around me. A plant's fruit is only as juicy as the soil its seed has landed on. Never underestimate the importance of being surrendered to the right environment if you would like to flourish. Everyone tells you that work is supposed to suck, and that is why it is called work. Or they may point to the opposite, which is not to settle until you find your passion. They would claim that experiencing it is as if you do not work one day of your life. Although both statements have truth and are diametrically opposing, they are the same. The message stems from the fact that one must sustain oneself through a forceful act. Yet to my surprise, I discovered that I would only attain my financial or material objectives once I let go of them and surrendered. It was almost like a force field was opposing me every step of the way, and the intensity of the opposition was directly proportional to my striving. The harder I tried, the harder I would fail. Yet by an act of grace, everything would fall into place when I did not drive my chariot, but instead took a passenger seat. As any good scientist will attest, any experiment-derived conclusions by observation must be replicable. So, throughout my life, every time I reached what seemed to be a dead end, I reminded myself to let go of the reins of my life and take a passenger, observant position, while asking our Heavenly Father and His wisdom to take me to the next level of the game because I was stuck. You probably wonder if this is nonsense and only applies to emotions or spiritual aspects, not the material. The whole of creation proved this assumption wrong. From several improbable outcomes, the right amount of capital or resources would show up from seemingly nowhere. Everything that I was once striving for came to me when I stopped chasing it. If it was meant for me to experience it, I attracted it like a magnet and not through my ego's whims. So the question remains, who controls what and why? This curious aspect of creation may or may not apply to others to the degree they are meant to experience it in their life journey, and that which you signed up to experience. Everyone has a soul's plan, a master design we agree to come into our lives and experience, a curriculum of life circumstances that will allow us to attain the wisdom of the experiences that foster our ascension in the spiritual realms. Well, back to the prior point. My true passion differed from what I studied and ended up working on. My true passion was aviation. I did attain my certificates on my own accord and abilities, but I needed more financial support to make it a profession or a business. And my second one, architectural design, yet again, forcefully not allowed to pursue this either. As a professional, I was relegated to interior luxury renovations and luxury single-family development, where my job could have been more creative. Still, I had to police my business partner and employees to prevent them from stealing from me. Finally, when I was on top of a 24-year pilgrimage, a former client, in collusion with another business partner to which I extended all my resources to create one of my startups, stole everything from investors and me. This was the death blow of all my lifelong professional aspirations. It forced me to finally quit pushing the windmill stone up the mountain and rethink my identity and what I was meant to be. I couldn't continue having a speck of non-integrity in the tapestry of my life if I was to pass to the next level of mastery in the simulation. I had to do a Control-Alt-Delete of all the old software still running in the background of my subconscious mind, dictating the image of what success was meant to look like in this socio-economic construct we all live in and by. Knowing what I know today, I would have never walked the path I had chosen as a potentially viable outcome for my life. When I launched into the world back then, I had something to prove to those who had not seen me for who I was as a child, student, son, etc. The biggest drivers in my early years were the pain I carried inside me and the need to fill the void in my heart due to the upbringing I experienced. Again, those were other days, but if you are a parent reading this, the enormous disservice you can do is to impose your views on your children about the need for a career or field of study. Let their spirits show them the way. The good news is that no matter how far away one may have fallen from their true calling, our Divine Father can do miracles after all. If we stop chasing our tails in pursuing material advancement and solely focus on discovering our inner gifts, we will naturally fit into the tapestry of this world. The value created will be proportional to our passion, while building what is meant for us to be built. Our soul will shine through, and the universe will conspire for us to be seen as who we were meant to become. Passion will be the driving force behind your creation, and it will not be an empty and meaningless economic exercise of exchange of time or material for capital. So, where do I go from here? The answer is that I don't know. The beautiful part is that I am okay with it as I realize I am not meant to know. All I aspire to is to have 100% accord between my 3 levels of integrity, as previously explained, and enjoy the view from the passenger seat. I no longer have anything to prove. I know I am great at what I do, and frankly, I couldn't care less what society thinks of me at every level. These letters testify to the copious amount of self-development I have endured over decades of trial and error. What you can see from the outside looking in is a fraction of the being inside, not too different from seeing a floating iceberg. I have often experienced real magic, mostly when not looking for it. People, opportunities, and places showed up where there was none. I invite you through this letter to trust that greater forces are dictating the outcome of your life than you or I can understand. I am placing my experiences for all to see, an alternate means to the know-how of existence, in the magical ride called life. Be blessed. SAVI.
If the content moves you, we invite you to embark on your journey by purchasing a copy of the book at Amazon, Kindle, or iBook today. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep exploring. The journey begins within. Click like and subscribe for additional details. See the video description.